back with another edition of edition. It's the same word, right? Hello and welcome to or back to Miss Craftslot's Lair. I am Barbie, multi-crafter, back with another edition of edition. It's the same word, right? Back with another edition of Stitch and Review. This is where I go buy a product, bring it back, try it out, and give you my honest opinion. Not paid for, not sponsored. This is just me trying something new. Today, I have a Woobles. First off, like I said, not sponsored. So what you're gonna get is my honest opinion. And like I have said before, this is my opinion. I am able to have my own opinion. Also, another thing I want to say is in this video, you're going to see that my thumb, if you notice my thumbs, are kind of scraped up and looking kind of not so great. I do volunteer once a month at a food pantry, and this time the boxes kind of attacked my thumbs, so I am kind of scabbed and such on my thumbs. I'm fine. It's just not extremely pretty to look at. But without further ado, the Woobles. Okay, so today I have Henry the Frog by the Woobles. When I heard about Joann's completely liquidating and closing, or being sold to liquidation, when I heard of the demise of Joann, I decided that I was going to go and see just to make sure, rule out the fact of if they may have had the Woobles also on discount. I did find this pack, I think I got 20% off, possibly 25% off of this particular Woobles, which is kind of goes along with what I have always said about the Woobles. I was going to get them on sale, not for full price, because even though I did get this particular Woobles at a decent mark off, it still did cost me like 20, it was $20 for this one. The other ones were going for like $24. Still, I was happy with the frog because we all know as a crocheter, as a knitter, if you have to pull back, it's a frog. So therefore, I figured that a frog crochet would fit very well in with my craft room. So without further ado, let's open up this frog. I will have to say, or open up this kit, I do have to say that I am going in with slight reservation. First off, like I said, the price for Woobles is kind of high for what I think that it is. Also, I felt the Woobles yarn in Joann when they had it available in Joann, when Joann was still around. I'm not sure if Joann's doors are still open. If they are, they're only going to be open for like a little bit longer. I know that the first round of stores that we're going to close already closed. That being said, I do have some reservations to the yarn that they use. It's that t-shirt kind of yarn, and just feeling it, I'm not very fond of it. Haven't worked with it. Figured this would be a good chance to work with it. Flipping it over, I do have to say that it comes with the yarn step-by-step videos. So that's going to be interesting to me just for the fact that I'm so used to working with paper patterns that might be kind of an interesting thing for me. It does have online instructions here. It says at the end, so hopefully they have it just written up online in regular form. Pre-started piece, that's kind of their thing, is their pre-started piece. 4mm crochet hook. It tells you the size. I like that. Stuffing plastic eyes, obviously, and the yarn needle to go along with it. So it says here, tear here to start woobling. Let me see if I can get that in. I have my autofocus off because if I don't have my autofocus on, it keeps trying to focus in. Tear here to start woobling. All right. So we shall. I've never been good with those kind of openings. All right. So I am going to go ahead and open up this box or bag, and I'm just going to dump the contents out today. All right. That's all she wrote. So we have the green t-shirt yarn, white t-shirt yarn, black t-shirt yarn, the stuffing, and then instructions inside, and a fairly nice feeling crochet hook. I wonder, like I said, I've never gotten into the whole Woobles thing, so I'm wondering if this crochet hook is green because of the frog being green, or if I'm just reading too much into that. If you have gotten Woobles, let me know. Okay. So in this pack, it was everything else, which kind of is interesting, saying that there's a hole in the front of this pack. And I have a back to a safety eye that does not want to come out. Or nose. Alright, so let me see the picture. Okay, so they sent an extra eye. That's interesting. An extra safety eye. Sweet. Okay. So true to form, there is the QR code to get the information as to making him. So you're gonna see my cell phone. Luckily it's just dirty. So yeah. Okay, this is kind of crazy because it's not letting me fully put in my information. And so when I get all that done, there's Henry, the tutorial to open, and I shall get into this. Oh, so I was just thinking, so I know that they say that it's already started, so how do I know that it's already started? I have stitch markers just kind of stuck in, and yeah, it's already started. I need to grab my yarn bowl of fun. There we go. Okay, so I was going to kind of lose my cool here. Like I said, I have never done Woobles before, and it was like playing through everything. I am a seasoned crocheter, so I know how to read patterns, single crochet, and all that jazz. So I did realize that here on the top of the screen, I don't want to show you too much, but here on the top of the screen, it does say download pattern. So when I click on that button, it does let me actually see a PDF version of the pattern. So I don't have to watch all of these tutorial videos. Um, I give them, it's awesome that they show new crocheters all of this information, but that's just information that I don't need. So here I am, continuing on. Okay, so I managed to get rows 2 and 3 done, and I am going to continue on my journey. So far this yarn is interesting. It Yeah, it feels quite different than what I'm normally used to. So but it's not horrible. It's not as bad as the splitty yarn. It's actually very not splitty because it's t-shirt yarn. Um, so onward I go. So here is one step away from, like, I gotta stuff and then it's one more row to seal it up. Interesting. I do have to say interesting. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and stuff this. And it says stuff and shape it like an egg. Getting the stuffing into this is kind of interesting. And I think this is going to be the one that I use all of the stuffing for. Maybe? Am I? I was trying to crochet a little tighter for some reason than what the beginning chain, the beginning round was. So I was kind of surprised by that. I think I'm actually going to use all the stuffing for this one. Stuffing. And the body was the only part that needed to be stuffed, so I used all of the stuffing for that. And I proceeded to close up the body. Next on the list was to make the belly parts. And finally to make the eyes. All done. Took me about 2.5 hours in order to make this guy. But let me tell you, this is what it looks like he was supposed to look like when he was all said and done. And this is what he actually looks like. I am pleasantly surprised. He is the closest to what they said he would look like that I have come across with a kit so far. So I am pleasantly surprised. The yarn was not as bad to work with as I thought it was going to be, so that's a plus. It did not give me the cut and ick like I was expecting it to upon feeling it in the skein. Leftover yarns, I have all of this left over. And I do have an extra safety eye that ended up in my pack, so I'm not sure if that's a normality for them to have an extra safety eye, but it was there. Um, super cute. Oh my god, oh my goodness, I'm gonna geek out about him for a little bit because he turned out so well. Um, the crochet hook is of a decent quality, if no hand pain from that. The crochet or the yarn needle is a bit longer, plus it has a bigger eye to it, so then that way you can get the t-shirt yarn through it. So this is actually going to come in handy for me because obviously it's a metal hook, so it's going to stick around for a while. Going to be good for the thicker yarns that I have in my stash. Um, I've been kind of cheating with other crochet hooks when the yarn couldn't fit into my regular yarn needle. Um, Also, there's the 3 stitch markers. I do think that I'm going to have to file those down though because they were trying to catch um there's some like sticky bits on them. So I do think I'm going to have to file them down just a little bit when I'm working with them, using them in my acrylic yarn because those could get snagged. Um, Other than that, um, the only thing that was keeping me away from Woobles, besides the fact that the yarn kind of felt funny, was the price. I think if they're all going to come out as good as this guy did, the price could be could be justified. Um, there was the only one that was started was the very first, which was the green, and it was only started once. So you do need to still know how to do the magic circle in order to make the eyes and the belly piece for this guy. But other than that, I think he is actually a really good way to start off crochet. Um, Although I would also say that if you are not able to afford a $30 kit in order to start out crochet, you still can get good results by using like a standard acrylic and just yeah. So, but I am pleasantly surprised. So, if you like this and you want to see more of this stitch and review, I have one more kit and I've got some yarns that I want to um, try and show. So, for now, bye. You know what? I guess I get to completely do that over again. I filmed the outro. I filmed the results, but apparently I didn't hit start recording. Anywho,